What's up, guys? Grantley16 once again playing Clash Royale. Now, for those of you who are new to the game, this is going to be a video just for you. Maybe, hopefully, probably might get you through the first few hundred trophies. It's going to be mainly a video for like 1,000 trophies and under. But there may be tips in here for all aspects of the game. Now, I've put together a few decks here. You can see the different arenas starting at the 800 trophy mark. You got Barbarian Bull with these cards in it. Then at 400 plus, you've got the Bone Pit with all these cards. And you finally get the balloon, which is really good. And then at 0 plus, you're going to, of course, have the Goblin Stadium. And it's going to have the Lightning Valkyrie and all that. And your most basic one that everybody starts out with is the Training Camp. And it's got all these cards. Now, you've got some really good cards here. Between all of these arenas, you can make several really good combinations. I'm not even going to have enough room in the video to go over them all. But I've made a few decks, and we're going to go through them one by one, kind of go through what a good strategy would be with certain things, what an ultimate goal would be, and we're going to go over just how to do a few quick little things. We might play a live battle here near the end, but first we're going to just do training, and we're going to start out. So this is your basic starter deck that everyone's going to start with. After you collect a few cards, you should have the same deck in no time. So the baby dragon's of course going to do splash damage. That's going to be one of my splash damages. Also, the bomber, the little skeleton bomber, that's also going to do splash damage. So just like right here, it's going to be able to take out both those fire spirits and the spear goblins. Now, my baby dragon could not quite beat that one just because the trainer's going to have higher level stuff than I have. But the ultimate goal of having a giant deck is to get everything built up behind that giant and to do what you would call a push. You're trying to push to get to their tower. You're trying to do the most effective way to get to their tower. So that on here would be starting a giant off in the back most of the time. You start the giant off in the back and try to build stuff up behind it. A really good combo is the Prince behind the giant, because when the Prince builds up a charge, it actually can push the giant forward. Also, a good strategy would be to throw not only the Prince, but throw something that does splash damage also, like the baby dragon or the bomber, so they can take out large groups of units, like the skeleton horde, which is something that a lot of people use in the lower ranks. It's probably one of the most popular cards in the game, the skeleton army, rather. And the Mini P.E.K.K.A. is a good single target card. It doesn't have a huge amount of health, but it has just enough so that it can get those few swings off. And each swing a Mini P.E.K.K.A. does is devastating. It does one of the highest damages in the game. Well, at least probably in the top 5. So, and of course you have your archers that are really good against the air. It looks like the trainer's got mostly small troops going against me here. I'm going to throw the baby dragon and the prince behind this giant. As you can see, the giant died fairly quickly because our trainer has such high cards. And you can actually arrow. I put the arrows in this deck simply because you never know when they're going to have small units. And the arrows are extremely good at taking out minions, at taking out goblins, at taking out skeleton horde. It's really good for almost anything. It doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but it has a very wide spread, so you'll want to use that. Now, the Prince is also a single target card. It doesn't target a whole lot of troops. It does do a whole lot of damage to the troops that it does target, though. So I'm going to place my giant now that I've took that tower on the other side. And I can actually place a bomber here because, see these barbs coming in? They're in a groove, so of course you're going to want to get something with splash damage. And you have to counter push as often as possible. When they're pushing on one side, you need to be pushing on the other side. Just use your best judgment as to when to do that. You have to do it at the right time. Do you think you can stop their push with the least amount of cards possible? So that's pretty much what you're going to do. Stop a push with the least amount of cards that you can put down. But stop it effectively, though. And you're basically trying to get up in elixir over them. So if you can take something out with 2 elixir and they just spent 5 elixir, you're going to be at an advantage right off the bat. And if you can constantly do that, you're going to build up enough to where you can just end up dominating them. They're not going to be able to keep up with you. So just like this, I have the bomber behind the giant. The giant's acting as a buffer for this tower. And we're doing really good at taking it out. See, that tower's going to go down. Our tower is going to go down also because I really wasn't paying too much attention to it, so it doesn't really matter. This is only a training match anyway. So I've got the Prince I'm going to throw out, okay? We need also a splash unit to complement the Prince because he is a single target unit, and we need a splash damage unit to go with him. See, that dragon actually blocked my dragon, so that push is going to be ineffective at the moment. Now they threw a miner out, which you won't get till later in the game, but I'm going to throw a mini peck out so I can take that miner out, and he actually had some fire spirits to help his miner. I'll just throw those archers out just to help take it out, and we will start a push on this side. See, I need to save up some elixir. I'm not going to waste all my elixir right away, because if I put a giant out right now, he could do that right there. He could throw out something else and I'd be in trouble because I have nothing to defend my giant. Now, you sometimes can do rushes like that and you can put stuff out time after time after time. Just keep on throwing every time you get some elixir out. But it's not always the smartest thing to do. You kind of want to conserve elixir. Make sure you always have some left over sometimes. And that way you'll always have a backup just in case they throw out something unexpected. See, now that I had a bomber and a mini P.E.K.K.A, which was a really good push. But right here, this is going to take this tower. See, I've got the single target unit and the archers helping out this giant. And that actually took that tower out. So we're going to start yet another push here. And let's go ahead and take out all of this. See, that baby dragon's going to easily take all of that, the small troops out because it is a splash damage troop. Now we're going to drop a giant on this side, and then a bomber, and then a P.E.K.K.A, since it's double elixir in the last minute of the game. So you've got double the elixir, and we're actually pushing through the main tower when they're pushing our main tower also. But the mini P.E.K.K.A does so much devastating damage, we ended up getting their tower before they got our tower. Now I'm going to move on to my next deck, just to show some more. So in this one, we've actually changed a few cards up. We have the Goblin Barrel, the Tombstone, and the Witch. And that's also some really, really good cards. That Goblin Barrel you can actually throw anywhere on the map and do direct damage to their tower from a distance without having to go through all their troops and everything. Now it can be blocked several ways, but we can get a few hits off generally every time. Now, here is a situation where you'll have to put in a few units kind of behind your tower because those units are so weak. They're going to have to be placed behind the tower so that they can survive long enough and assist the tower. See, we put that bomber behind our giant. They're pushing so hard, we can actually throw Goblin Barrel. Since the tower is focused on the giant, our other units are going to do a massive amount of damage. See, we've already actually taken it out. And see, now we've already cycled back around to our giant once again, so we can actually start another push. Okay. And the tombstone is a good distraction, not necessarily against the baby dragon, which I just placed it for, because the baby dragon's going to just lap that up. It's going to be really easy. But another good combo will be the witch behind the giant, because she produces 3 skeletons every few seconds. So it's eventually just going to build up the longer she stays alive. See this? She's got 6 skeletons out now, and that's just doing work on that tower. And see, here comes some more, here comes some more, and we're just doing work on that tower just with that one unit. So that's really all we need. And they're actually going to take that out. It's only got 130 health left, and we'll just throw our goblin barrel over there and see if we can take it out. There, right there. See, there it is. Instant damage across the map, and you only use 3 elixir to do it with. So that's another pretty effective deck. Just throwing that goblin barrel out there. Also, the balloon. The balloon is extremely effective if they do not have many air units. Also, the lightning, if they have a good build-up coming your way and you need to stop it but have no other way to stop it but throw a spell down. That is another good technique to use. So we're going to get right into a training match with this balloon lightning deck and see what we can do to this level 12 trainer we're going up against here. Now see, we have 2 spells and 2 really cheap units to start off with. Now sometimes you can get a few quick hits, but generally it's going to be a lot for you. See, they're going to arrow those, and we can throw the minions on these barbs. They'll eat them up pretty good. They're going to get a little bit of damage on us, but that's okay. They're going to take out the majority of them, and we got most of that out of there. We can throw the knight out. He's a really good damage absorber, and also he is pretty effective attacker also as well. And you can actually just throw him out. He'll get a little bit of damage each time. It doesn't have to be a huge push each time. This deck is just a pretty quick little cycle deck. And you can just throw little stuff out each time and be pretty effective with it. So we can throw arrows right here. And I was hoping to get those fire spirits also, but it wasn't quite fast enough. Our knight's going to take the majority of that damage. And we can push on this other side since we have the most damage on this side, and he was waiting for it, so we'll throw the goblins out. We're cycling through these small cards really quickly, keeping the lightning and the balloon on standby. Okay, so the ideal situation is to get a 2-for-1. Basically, you want to use, if you use a spell, it's a really good idea if they're dropping stuff in the back to use the spell. If it is worth it, you got to take in mind, is it worth it to use this spell on this unit? Am I going to come out on top in the end? And most of the time you do if it's an effective spell. So we're going to easily take out all of these level 13 barbs, even though we're level 11. And you can see I'm defending it really well. This is a really fast cycling deck. I'm actually getting around to these goblins really quick, then I'll throw the knight out, then I've got the 3 minions, and then I just get right back around to the spear goblins, and it's a really fast cycling deck. So I'll just throw those out just to soak up some of this damage from these fire spirits, and then I can throw out the knight, and then I can throw out the archers, and see, you can just cycle super fast with these small elixir cards. You don't want to get too high of an elixir deck, or else you're going to be struggling to get enough elixir to defend your base. So we're defending this really well, actually, and there's not going to be much he can really do. Now we're going to go ahead and start trying to take their tower. Okay, so we got the balloon coming in, we got the 3 minions coming in, we've got the lightning on standby, just in case, and it's going to be our tower versus his tower, and oh, he got us. We got him actually down to 361 damage. I got a little greedy there. but you can believe me, it's a really effective deck. Now, I will just use the most basic deck, the one that starts off with a training camp. I'm actually going to use that in a live battle. Even though I'm at 3,950 trophies, I'll still go ahead and use it in a live battle and see how we can fare with just the most basic deck at my level, which most people are getting in really advanced decks, really advanced combinations, and you're not going to find too many plain Janes up here. So we're just going to throw this Mini P.E.K.K.A out to take this Royal Giant that targets the tower directly, and the Mini P.E.K.K.A actually does a whole lot of damage, so it's not going to let that Royal get too much damage. And here we're going to want to do a splash damage unit, also a single target unit. So we got the Giant going to the tower. We're putting the Prince out to assist our Giant, and he's going to do a lot of single target damage. Here comes the Mega Minion. We're going to throw down archers to take out the Mega Minion. It's also going to assist with the Ice Wizard, and we're doing pretty good so far. So our ultimate strategy here, you always got to have a strategy going into a game. Our ultimate strategy is going to be to get a splash damage unit and a single target unit behind this Giant. It's acting as our buffer in order for us to push all the way through their tower. So we got the Giant coming in right now, and we're going to want to put... He's coming in with a bowler on this side, so we're going to have to split up our push here. That's the only problem with it. And we're going to use our Prince, since it doesn't get pushed back by the bowler. It's actually going to do its own thing. It's going to be charging in by himself. And maybe he'll hit the tower for us. Yeah, there we go. There's some damage for us. We got it down to 1,600. And our archers are going to be just a good support unit to take out this Mega Minion and take out the Ice Wizard once again. And we'll start off, since we don't have no other option, we'll start off with the Baby Dragon in the back, the Mini P.E.K.K.A up front to take care of this Royal Giant, and we'll throw the Bomber out as well, just as a support unit. Here is the Bowler once again. Since this is a good value, we'll throw the Fireball out. Oh, I just missed that Bowler. That's okay though. We'll start out with a Giant in the back on this side, since we have the most damage on our left side. And then he's going to drop the Royal Giant. He's actually going to win this game. That's okay though. It's you win, you lose every once in a while, but it's inevitable that you're going to lose. And no matter how good you do. We've actually got a good build-up going, but he's got that Bowler, and it's going to knock everything behind that Giant back. So he did really well there, defending everything that he had, and there's nothing we could have really done. But like I said, up there in the high ranks, it gets really advanced. You have a lot of different units, but you can win with these basic decks at any time, any level. You just practice with it and you get good. You can be good with any deck if you try hard enough. Anyways, let's go ahead and open this chest just for good measure. Alright, only 3 Musketeers and Skeletons. Anyways, for you new guys, I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any more questions, I'll be glad to make another video on certain things. I know this was only through the Barbarian Bowl Arena, but I didn't get to cover some cards, and I probably over-covered some cards. But you get the general idea. If you guys have any questions or want me to make another video, kind of like this one, just go into further detail about some of the other cards I didn't mention, just let me know in the comments. Anyways, like and subscribe if you're new, and let me know what you think about the videos. Take it easy, guys.